I feel like going in the system, it feels terrible deep inside as a person, especially when you get taken away from the custody of your parents. You feel lost, you feel lonely, you feel betrayed by your parents. So me, as feeling all that negative energy and emotions, it had put me in a stage where I lost hope in life. Since I'm a first generation going to college, I didn't have no guidance of whether to go to college or not. And the moment I joined, I feel like my own personal life and my own personal growth started to demonstrate with the program, because all the values and the expectations that the program has for youth.
To pursue college was basically, I didn't want the life I had growing up. I knew I wanted more in life. I went into foster care due to the addiction my parents had and the domestic violence. I was in there from about 14 to 21. I seen my parents struggle and I always wanted them to get help. And I want to be that other person on the side to help those who need it.
I had to go into continuation high school at junior year, and I had one teacher that told me like, oh, well, good luck applying for college. And when I tell people, oh yeah, I'm in foster care, because I'm not ashamed of it, people would always look at me with pity or, oh, poor girl, she's not going to make it far in life. So that motivated me to say, no, I have to make it in life. I have to go to school.
Type of jobs that I was drawn to motivated me on pursuing a BA in child development. When I was in foster care and my siblings, we were kind of like in and out of the system, living with family members at first. Around, I believe, 4th grade, we were in foster homes spread out in Pacoima. Was an after-school program coach. I just really love seeing kids develop new skills and then like even just growing into their own individual like identities. It's kind of cool to see someone that's so young and have so much to offer, especially sometimes when you see that they are having a difficult time at home and they just like blossom at school or in different environments.
What motivated me to go to college was that I always knew that I wanted to further my education. I've always been, into academics and striving to do good and receive the grades that I wanted. So there was never a doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be going to college. I didn't know which college I was going to be going to, but I knew I was going to be at somebody's college. I grew up in Bakersfield, California. The court ruled that my parents weren't able to provide for me or have the resources to provide for me, so my grandma stepped in and took care of me and my siblings. So I lived with her my whole life. Thankfully, I didn't have to go through a lot of the hardships like a lot of what my other peers have to, and I learned to become an activist for the marginalized people in my community, and I knew that that was something that I wanted to do in a career path that I wanted to go into, is to be an advocate for people and to be an activist in any way possible.
I was adopted when I was about 10 years old, I believe. I didn't know any programs like this existed. And I was so happy to join it because it was so amazing. A lot of people tell me, you wasted your time not going to school. I don't see it as a waste. I raised my kids. I was there for my kids. Every time they needed me, I was there. So I didn't waste no time. I actually enjoyed my time with my boys. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to school. And that's when I decided to go to Valley College.
I come from a low income background, so I didn't really have that much opportunities. There was a lot of domestic violence between my parents, a lot of substance use, mental health. Both of my parents experienced chronic homelessness as well as incarceration. So there was a lot of trauma and neglect.
What motivated me to pursue this college degree is I know that education is key and it'll get you far. And with me, my circumstances being in a wheelchair, I know that I'm already limited to my options. So I know that going to college is my best choice. And even though I believed it wasn't for me in the beginning, through all my trials and tribulations, being a high school dropout, going back to school at the age of 27 to get a high school diploma, I'm at the age of 33 now. It was hard, but through perseverance, I made it and stuff, and I made school for me.
Support meant so much to me. I just built a really wonderful community among peer mentors. So that was a wonderful experience for me. When I was in the foster home, I was moved like 10 different times. So every time I was placed in a new home, I would start 10th grade all over again.
Seeing other single mothers struggling but achieving their goals and getting an education and succeeding really inspired me. I am a single mom and I grew up in poverty, so I strive to not put my kids through what I went through. I knew that getting an education was the only way out of poverty. I wanted to break that cycle within my family. I wanted to inspire my kids to show them that they could succeed as well, and that just because we're in poverty now, that if they obtain their education, that it's the key to success. It's the way to get out of it, to break that cycle.
Because of the Resilient Scholars Program, I was able to stay strong and continue going to college. That's the reason why it kept me pushing, because I was guided. I was supported in many different ways.
They just being able to contact them and, anything I needed help, whether it was with school or anything outside of school, they always had the information. And not only that, like the socials and the exchanges really made me feel at ease.
EOP and RSP helped me in my academic journey. The staff being there to talk to me, encouraging me, and also just kind of like don't get that feeling of I don't belong.
As a former foster youth, we experience a lot of internal issues like low self-esteem, hopelessness, shame, and we lack a sense of belonging. But EOP RSB gave me hope and instilled a motivation in me. They viewed potential in me and gave me confidence to pursue my higher education, especially in undergraduate. I was able to build a sense of community.
Being in foster care, giving me opportunities to help pay for my education and sponsorships, stuff like that. So it's definitely an incentive, to encourage so that I don't have to, deal with all the debt.
Always looking out for us and resources. Having the community, it's what made it like the times you just want to give up, they're there to support you and they're there to like lift you up.
I've never even heard of Resilient Scholars. I think it is incredible that this campus and other campuses who have Guardian Scholars, that they have these programs for foster youth, because having socials and interacting with people who've been through what you've been through, it helps a lot where you don't feel like you're alone.
I remember back in high school, I didn't feel that connection at all with any of my peers. So having something like this where I can relate with others and know that I'm not going to be judged for it is awesome. Thank you to the EOP, Milt and Debbie Valera Resilient Scholars Program for all that you've done for me throughout my 4.5 years at college. I am beyond words grateful for all that you've done, and I truly would not have felt a connection at this school if it wasn't for this program.